You know that feeling, right? When you really want to get something, go deeper than just the headlines. You're looking for those aha moments, things that actually stick, but like without drowning in info overload.
Yeah, totally.
Well, that's exactly what we're trying to do here today.
And we're diving into Siargao Island in the Philippines. Now, that name probably conjures up, those classic images, perfect waves, palm trees
The
everywhere.
surfing capital.
Exactly. It's famous for that, and for good reason. People love the turquoise water, the whole cool surf culture vibe.
Absolutely. I mean, Siargao is stunning, no question. And, well, the secret's definitely out. But um, our mission today isn't just about soaking up the beauty from the usual spots.
Right.
We want to go beyond that, really venture past, say, the famous Cloud 9 break and uncover, the real heart of the island.
So less about jostling for wave position.
Yeah, less of that and more about finding those quiet, sort of authentic corners.
And look, anyone who's been following Siargao knows it's boomed, a lot more popular.
Oh, for sure.
You see more resorts now, loads of great places to eat, souvenir shops, and yeah, those Instagram spots, they are busy.
Yeah.
I've seen that change myself, actually, going from this really peaceful, almost sleepy escape to something much more dynamic, sometimes pretty crowded.
It's that classic story, isn't it? A place gets discovered, which is great in many ways, brings opportunities, but you do sometimes worry that maybe a little bit of that original magic gets, I don't know, diluted.
Yeah, that's the tension.
But here's the exciting part, and this is what we're focusing on. Siargao still has these amazing, pockets of magic.
Okay.
They're definitely there if you're willing to, explore a bit more. Go down those less traveled paths, find the local spots that still feel genuine, and really connect with the island's soul.
It's interesting how our travel focus can shift, isn't it? From just ticking off the big sites
Right.
to something a bit more intimate, more about exploration. And a great example of this on Siargao is finding a really hidden beach somewhere on the East Coast.
Ah,
Yeah, okay.
this sounds like a proper adventure, not just pulling off the main road.
No, definitely not. We're talking a bumpy motorbike ride
Right.
down one of those narrow sort of dirt tracks, getting away from the main hub, General Luna.
Okay, so you're heading somewhere different.
Exactly. The journey itself is a clue. And the payoff, wow, super soft, powdery white sand, and the water just incredibly clear, almost shimmering.
And the key thing, almost deserted.
Pretty much. Just, a couple local fishermen doing their thing. It's the total opposite vibe to the crowds you might find near Cloud 9.
Yeah, I can picture that.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Totally. And it's not just the quiet. Apparently, just a short swim out, there's this amazing underwater scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, vibrant coral reefs, loads of colorful tropical fish, parrotfish were mentioned specifically.
Yeah.
And even seeing the odd sea turtle just cruising by, it sounds like a really healthy, untouched marine spot.
Wow, that sounds incredible. But it wasn't just the scenery that made it special, was it? There was something about the people.
That's right. There was this real sense of community, local kids just playing, having fun, and this lovely little interaction with a young girl, Leela, who just offered to crack open a coconut. Such a simple, kind gesture.
That's lovely.
And then getting to meet her family, who lived in a nearby barangay that's like a local village or neighborhood,
Right.
and just feeling that genuine warmth, that welcome.
Yeah, that makes all the difference.
It really does. And if you think about the bigger picture, it kind of shows that the real magic of places like Siargao isn't just the landscape,
Yeah.
It's so tied up with the people, their culture, that feeling of connection you can find when you step off the main tourist trail a bit.
Okay, so moving on from beautiful hidden beaches,
Yeah.
let's talk about another great way to connect with a place. The food.
Yes.
We know Siargao has trendy cafes, smoothie bowls, all that.
Plenty of those.
But this deep dive went looking for something, well, more local, more authentic.
Exactly. It was about venturing beyond the, let's say, Instagram-ready brunch scene.
Right.
And finding those unassuming spots where the locals actually eat. The source mentions stumbling upon this, quaint little eatery tucked down a side street in a small barangay.
Okay.
Picture this. Mismatched chairs, simple thatched roof. It sounds like a place that's all about the food and the company, not the fancy decor.
Yeah, it sounds genuine. And the smell. Garlic and coconut milk, that's usually a good sign.
Always a winner. And the food itself was focused on real Filipino dishes. The absolute star, apparently, was kinoloa.
Ah, the Filipino ceviche, essentially.
Very much, yeah. Super fresh fish, marinated in calamansi juice, that tangy citrus plus coconut vinegar, spices, described as just bursting with flavor. Tangy, spicy, fresh. Sounds amazing.
It really does. I love quinoa.
And it wasn't just that. They sampled other classics too, like adobo, of course, and the taro leaves cooked down in rich coconut milk.
Oh, yum. Proper comfort food.
Exactly. It's like getting a taste of Siargao's actual culinary heritage, the flavors people grew up with.
But again, like the beach, it wasn't just the food, right? It was the whole atmosphere.
Totally. The hospitality was a huge part of it. The owners, especially Tita Rosa, the matriarch,
Okay.
she was apparently sharing stories about these recipes passed down through generations.
That's special.
And then, get this, they even got invited into the kitchen.
No way.
Yeah, to watch them make bibingka, that traditional rice cake baked in banana leaves over hot coals.
Wow, that's incredible. That's more than just eating out. That's like being welcomed into someone's home almost.
Precisely. It really makes you think about what an authentic travel experience means, doesn't it? It's not just ticking off sites.
No.
It's these immersive moments, connecting with people over food, hearing their stories. This little eatery, it sounds like it became a real window into the island's soul, where food and storytelling just naturally mix.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Siargao's hidden treasures aren't just beaches and food spots. The island also has some amazing natural wonders that fly a bit under the radar.
That's right. Once you move away from the coast and the famous surf, there's a whole other side to explore. Waterfalls, caves, lagoons.
Okay.
Toktak Falls is one example mentioned, a hidden waterfall deep in the island's green interior. Getting there isn't just a drive-up thing. It involves a trek through proper jungle.
Right, so he has to earn it a bit.
You do. But the description of the reward sounds amazing. This beautiful, untouched waterfall pouring into a cool emerald green pool.
Ah, lovely.
And the key thing emphasized was the quiet. Just the sounds of the jungle, the water, a complete escape from the buzz.
Nice. What else?
Then there's Suba Lagoon. Sounds stunning. A big turquoise lagoon hemmed in by these dramatic limestone cliffs and mangrove forests.
Okay, how do you get there?
It's a short boat ride, but apparently it feels like entering a totally different world. Really calm, glassy water.
Sounds peaceful.
Yeah, great for kayaking, just paddling around, looking at the reflections, maybe seeing some fish. It's described as a real contrast to the sort of high-energy vibe of the surf spots.
Different kind of water experience.
Exactly. And then, for the more adventurous types, there are the Tayangban cave pools.
Oh, cave pools. Sounds intriguing.
It does. It sounds like a mix of like spelunking, exploring the cave, and swimming.
Right.
You go through these dark, narrow passages, needing a flashlight.
Okay. Bit spooky, maybe?
Maybe a little, but then you emerge into this beautiful pool that's lit by sunlight filtering down from above. Sounds quite magical, actually. Hidden.
Yeah, hidden and magical seem like good words for that.
What's really cool is just the sheer variety of Siargao's nature. It's not just beaches and waves.
Right.
There's this whole inland landscape with waterfalls, caves, lagoons, offering different kinds of adventure and that feeling of discovery if you go looking for it.
Okay, now for something I found really interesting, maybe a bit unexpected, beyond all the natural beauty, this deep dive also uncovered a surprisingly vibrant local art scene happening on Siargao.
Yeah, this was a cool find. You don't automatically think art hub when you think of a Cirque Island, right?
Not necessarily, no.
But the sources point to this growing community of artists there, really capturing island life in their work.
What kind of art are we talking about?
Well, paintings, for sure. Lots of vibrant stuff like surfboards, those amazing Siargao sunsets.
Okay, the classics.
Yeah, but also things like intricate sculptures made from driftwood found on the beaches, really using the local material.
That's cool, using what the island gives you.
Exactly. And there was this specific mention of visiting a small gallery in General Luna, meeting a painter called Kuya Miguel.
Right.
His work focused more on, like, the fishing villages, the mangrove forests, using really bold colors and fluid brushstrokes. Sounds quite evocative.
Did you say anything about his inspiration?
Yeah, apparently he talked about how art helps keep local traditions alive and how he draws a lot from his memories of Siargao before the big tourism boom.
Ah, that's powerful. Capturing a time, a feeling.
It really is. And it's not just hidden away in galleries either. There's public art popping up, too.
Oh, yeah. Like murals?
Exactly. Murals on cafes, on guest houses. There was an example of one showing a surfer sharing a wave with a sea turtle.
Oh, nice symbolism. Harmony.
Yeah, kind of representing that connection between people and nature there. It adds this unique layer of charm to the place, doesn't it?
It totally does. It shows there's more depth.
For sure. This art scene demonstrates Siargao's got this creative spirit, this distinct way of life that the artists are trying to, reflect and maybe even preserve. It adds soul, goes beyond just the beaches.
So, yeah, when you put all these pieces together, the hidden beaches, the local food, the waterfalls, the art, it really paints a picture, doesn't it? That to truly experience Siargao, you kind of need to peel back the layers. Step away from the Instagram famous spots.
Yeah, look beyond the surface. Seek out that deeper connection.
And that idea of personal discovery seems key.
Oh, definitely. Finding those places that just click with you, that feel special, like your own little secret find, even if others know about them.
And the advice that came through was basically, be curious.
Yes. Rent the motorbike. Don't be afraid to try those bumpy roads.
Talk to people. Like the fishermen. Ask for recommendations.
Exactly. Take that path that looks a bit less traveled. Maybe it leads to an amazing waterfall after a bit of a hike. You never know.
And definitely savor the local food.
Oh, for sure. Enjoy that kinalaw.
Mm-hmm.
And actually listen to the stories that might come with it.
Yeah.
Hearing from someone who's lived there for ages, sharing their memories, that's where the real connection happens.
Yeah. So ultimately, this deep dive really suggests Siargao's true soul, its heart, isn't necessarily in the most crowded, buzzing places.
No, it's more likely found in those quieter corners where the island's spirit feels strongest, maybe a bit more untouched.
So Siargao, it seems, really does offer something for different kinds of travelers, not just the hardcore surfers.
Absolutely. Whether you are chasing that perfect wave or maybe you're looking for more quiet contemplation, solitude, the island holds that potential for real personal discovery.
It really makes you think, doesn't it,
Mm-hmm.
about how we travel, maybe pushes us to think about venturing off the beaten path more often.
Mm-hmm.
So a question for you listening. What about your own travels? Do you have favorite hidden spots, maybe on Siargao, maybe somewhere else entirely? Ever found a secret beach or a tiny restaurant or a piece of art that just, really resonated?
Yeah, we'd love for you to think about those moments, maybe even share those stories of discovery if you feel like it. It builds a nice sense of community around finding these special places.
Definitely. And please do join us again next time for another deep dive as we keep exploring fascinating places and the stories hidden within them.